pollutants of air related to health risks here in Beaver County. These monitors will be placed in Brighton, Center, and Raccoon Townships, along with Beaver and Rochester. Connect Beaver County's broadband program is providing necessary infrastructure to give internet with higher speeds to over 2,000 Beaver County locations. The program also provides a Beaver County connectivity tracker, and the uses of it include tracking both how many homes are in construction and the number of miles of cables that have been placed. You can also use the affordability finder from the broadband program to locate providers of internet service to your address until the program is completed. You can visit connectbeavercounty.com for more information. The mandatory conservation order for water in Allegheny, Beaver, and Washington counties has been lifted by the company Pennsylvania American Water. People in Beaver County's Frankfort Springs and Hanover Township needed to limit their water use to around 10 to 15% during the order. According to Pennsylvania American Water, the order was given because an adequate water supply needed to be maintained. The company also stated that the Aldrich water treatment plant also needed to be fixed because of an issue involving electricity. A procession with law enforcement officers is planned for the funeral of a Pennsylvania police officer who was shot and killed while responding to an attack on a hospital intensive care unit. Family members, friends, and fellow officers are expected to attend the service today for West York Patrolman Andrew Duarte at Living Word Community Church in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. The 30-year-old officer was killed while responding to an armed man who took hostages inside UPMC Memorial Hospital in York, Pennsylvania. The attacker, 49-year-old Diogenes Archangel Ortiz, also was killed, and several others were wounded. Legislation to create paid family and medical leave in Pennsylvania is getting bipartisan support. Here's more from Danielle Smith.
House Bill 200 has 58 co-sponsors, including 3 Republicans. It's in the Labor and Industry Committee. The nonprofit Maternity Care Coalition is among those pushing for passage. Sarah Jan Hines with the coalition says the bill would allow families some financial support during childbirth and major illnesses. She adds for new parents and babies, paid leave could cut hospital readmissions in half.
But the bill covers family and medical leave, so it's a really great and expansive benefit. So individuals who have a baby, adopt a baby, who are sick themselves or need to care for a loved one, people experiencing domestic violence. It's a really comprehensive program.
House Bill 200 is an update of past legislative attempts known as the Family Care Act to fund paid leave through employer and employee contributions. 13 states have similar programs. Hines notes many new mothers return to work even before their 6-week checkup due to financial strain, some within 10 days.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Partly sunny and breezy today. We'll see a high near 49. Rain tonight will drop down to a low around 29. Mostly cloudy and breezy tomorrow with scattered snow showers expected through early afternoon. Look for a high near 31 and a low around 15. And mostly sunny on Sunday. We'll see a high near 30 and a low around 17. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Are you ready? It's time to find out what is on the mind of Eddie Crow. It's something to crow about on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. Now, here's the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
I am in the Fry Transportation Group studio, and I've got company. Matthew Modany is here, comes by from time to time. The show is called Good Talk, and it's always uplifting. And Matthew, good to see you. And we've got good news at 10 minutes after 11. You've learned the secret, my friend. You want to do radio? Get you some sponsors. And you came rolling in today, and you've been sponsoring this hour, but you've got sponsors sponsoring you. It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I had to share the wealth of the sponsorship opportunity. So just want to thank everybody for tuning in, listening in. Any returning listeners, new listeners, thanks for joining us.
New viewers on the Facebook feed.
Yeah. So thank you for the intro, Eddie. And for those that don't know me, I'm Matthew Modany. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker and the Michael and Nicole Reed team. And for all your real estate questions, you can reach me at 724-312-2888 or check out my website, movewithmodany.com. You can do an instant home value there, search tools, and a bunch of other things that we threw into it.
All right, now, how do you celebrate Donnie Iris's birthday? He's got a show tomorrow and a show like 2 weeks from now, but you grew up around here. Donnie Iris, is there anybody higher?
I don't know about for our area.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not when you're talking, rock stars from Beaver County, Western PA.
Well, are you familiar with the band Crack the Sky?
I'm not.
We're going to get you schooled up on that.
School me up.
Another one of those bands, like when I moved here, I knew who Donnie Iris was. I had no idea he was here. Crack the Sky. Going to get you schooled up. A bunch of local boys, including Rick Witkowski. But I love this place embraces its own, like very few places I've ever been.
Oh, absolutely.
And whether it's rock stars or your sports teams. And I thought about you Monday or Tuesday when I saw this story, because half the time you come in, you've got all this very professional stuff prepared, and we end up just arguing about sports. Right?
Yeah.
I want your thoughts on two things. First, umpire digital.
Long overdue.
Okay.
Just like same topic, we have the NFL coming out and saying that they're going to use the laser lines for first downs now. And
they're putting a chip in the ball, and they can track it anywhere.
Yeah. So explain to me how MLB and the NFL took until 2025 to use laser technology for this. That
doesn't bother you, because people that have heard you on this show before, you are, as sports goes, you are as hardcore Western PA traditionalist as there ever has been. The technology taking people's jobs, that doesn't take you away from the nuance of the game?
No, I don't think it does. I think, honestly, both of them are long overdue. And
you think it was the gambling? They had to be sure to get it right all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I think there's something comical, too, about some of these players that get fines and suspensions for gambling associations when they have DraftKings and FanDuel on their uniforms and sponsoring every game. So
yeah,
definitely a little ironic.
The sticker on the helmet's the company you got in trouble for doing business with.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, you're not old enough, but you're a sports freak enough. Do you remember the story of Alex Karras?
No, I don't. The name's familiar, but I forget the story.
They suspended him. He played for the Lions, Detroit Lions, okay?
Okay.
And there was another guy running back out of Notre Dame that was just Paul Hornung. Ever heard that name?
Oh, yeah.
Those two guys got suspended. Do you know why?
No.
They hung out with people that gambled. That was it. They busted. Why do you think Namath had a bar and then he didn't have a bar?
Right.
The league said, yeah, you need to get rid of, there's some unsavory characters hanging out in the bar.
Mm-hmm. Unsavory. Yeah, we'll worry less about some of the other things that NFL players get in trouble for, but got to crack down on sports betting that's taken over every major league.
I know you don't follow soccer. Every soccer jersey on the front, the big logo on the front, that's the big sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what 90% of the big sponsors, and we're talking billions of dollars, it's either an Eastern European / Russian power company of some sort, oil, gas, something, or it is a betting website.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yep. Hey, sometimes
are you a gambler?
FanDuel once in a while.
Do you?
Mostly hockey, a little bit of football, but that's about the extent of it.
How do you bet hockey?
Oh.
I mean, I know you can bet hockey, but
I recommend it's not for those who are the casual fan. You got to know the sport to have any decent chance of making some money, and it still takes a toll on you.
Doesn't it take the energy? Because years ago, I worked with a guy that was just degenerate gambler, and seriously.
Hey, it might have been a friend of mine.
It actually could have. There are 7 or 8 TVs in the newsroom there, and he would be watching March Madness. You swore every day, this is the day he has an aneurysm. It didn't look enjoyable. Do you enjoy paying attention to it? I'm too cheap. It's not a moral issue. It's a cheap issue with me.
Yeah, the cheap issue. You got to watch the old episodes of 2.5 Men with Charlie Harper. I think one of the first ones he's teaching his nephew about
how to place
having
bets.
some juice on the game makes it more interesting.
What's the big, Uncle Charlie? At this point, I'm going to drag you into it. Matthew Modany sitting in with me. It's Good Talk with Matthew. We do this once a month. Would you put a plug nickel on the Penguins? Yeah, they got a win. They had a goalie freak out, break a stick, and then came back and got a win. But I'm looking at the standings.
They're doing exactly what they should be doing. And
stinking?
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to be doing. And
okay.
You know, this is something I knew we were going to touch on today. We always talk hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans that have been fans long enough remember when we went through the X generation with Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Those couple years before we had rookie Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang. There were a couple bad teams there, really bad teams, and that is how
there were a couple bad decades there.
Well, I'm talking long after a couple bad decades,
okay.
But
when they went from blue to yellow and black.
Yeah, the early 2000s, the X generation, before they went on that streak and drafted Sid, Fleury, Malkin, and Letang all within a 4 or 5 year span. The only way that you get to do that is by being bad for a while.
Stinking.
Yeah, and the point that I wanted to bring in here today, I understand people want to see him win every year. So do I. But we've seen him win 5 Stanley Cups, dozens of Conn Smythes and Rocket Richards, and every trophy that you can possibly win. It's time for them to be bad and be really bad. Get those lotto balls for the draft. And again, this is the process, right? That's how you end up with Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. You don't get that treading water as a wild card team every year. Look to what's happened to the Steelers. They're stuck in the mushy middle because they refuse to go have a 4 or 5 win season, but they haven't sniffed a playoff win in a decade.
Did you see the grade? Well, I'll get to the grades, but I want to ask you about state hockey just a second. How is it that you can be objective and still be a fan? Because the impression is there are a lot of people in Western PA, Penguins fans, Steelers fans, that are jaded and don't know how good they've had it compared to the rest.
Yeah, right. I think our hockey fans are pretty good about seeing the big picture and appreciating what we've had and understanding that it's okay to stink for a couple years to get the next generation to come in. And you still have something to look forward to. Sidney Crosby's not going anywhere, despite what Paul Bissonnette likes to say on TNT. But Sid's going to finish his career here, and what you have to watch right now is him knocking off leaderboard after leaderboard milestone. I don't think that they trade Raquel or Rust, because no matter what goes on with the team, you got to leave Sid with his line to be able to track down those milestones. And I think he's in the hunt to, I want to say, either tie or beat Yzerman's record for point per game. I think they're coming up on 18 or 19 years in a row. So he wants to break that one.
That's what I'm saying. Do most Penguins fans know that is not the norm? Most hockey teams never had a Mario Lemieux, much less a Mario Lemieux, then a Jaromir Jagr and Ronnie Francis, and now you've got all times on every team that I can remember having to cover since the 90s.
Yeah, I think it's probably about an even split. People that really, truly appreciate it and those that just think this is how it's supposed to be every year.
All right. How it's supposed to be every year, the topic? You excited about the Pirates? Because I feel like Matthew, I feel like a chump. I'm excited about the Pirates. I genuinely am. Can you grow that Hope Springs Eternal feeling every spring at this point?
No, I can't.
Just straight to it. No.
Straight to it. No. Yeah.
Not at all.
Another bitterly disappointing and uninspiring Buccos postseason is basically in the books. And what have they done to build a contender around Paul Skeens? For the first time in 30 years, you have one of the best players in all of MLB, and
as good as anybody, and it's sitting in the Pirates' lap. And
tell me what they've done. Name me one thing to put a better team around him than what he had last year. And all I can say is enjoy him while you have him, because I don't see any reason this guy, you could pay him $50 million. When his contract's up, what's going to keep him here when they spend $15 million in the offseason? And just, I mean, you're at the bottom of the league for every spending category. Every spending category, and I'm going to defend the Pirates just for a second. Okay. It won't last long. Okay. How much should I have to throw into the process to make a better team, to boost up a guy that you're going to see once every 5 days? And why would I boost it up and maybe not be guaranteed anything better when I'm already making money hand over fist? It's the fan versus the accountant dilemma. Yes. Bob Nutting, it might be the best baseball owner as a businessman, but obviously the worst when it comes to putting a product on the field for his fans. And my comeback is, it's not just Skeens. Anybody that follows baseball knows we have a great young rotation. Pitching's hard to come by. You got to capitalize on that window with these guys, and they won't. You know, they'll coast by on their dollar dog nights and their concerts and their drone laser shows, and every fifth or sixth game when Skeens comes in, it'll be packed. But as a business person, you're a real estate agent. You know how business works. If I'm running a crappy event, but people keep showing up, what's my motivation to less crappy it? I have this argument with a lot of my friends. This city, this town loves baseball, and I've seen it. When the team is good, they sell more tickets, they sell more merchandise, more beer, more pop, more everything. Dippin' Dots. More Dippin' Dots. You can't convince me that they don't make more money as a contending team versus when they're out of contention by July. You know, there's no argument as a businessman you can make me that more fans in the building and watching your games, that only happens when they're contending. So that would be my comeback. I think that's a weak argument. Well, I look at it as risk reward. If I'm already making money, why should I risk throwing a whole bunch more money into it? Yeah. I mean, it might work. Yeah, I am going to make more money if you're in contention, but if I'm already making money, why would I risk? It's the bird in the hand, two in the bush thing. Yeah. I mean, that's true, but you look around the league, talk to the other owners. I mean, yeah, we're not all the Dodgers and the Yankees, but there's other small market teams that spend and they compete, and they're making a lot of money too. How many times have you watched Moneyball? It's been a while, but a few. All right. Yeah. It's one of those Saturday afternoon movies. Exactly. And it always schnookers me in. I think, there is hope. You can do this and get it together. Oh, yeah. It wasn't that long ago. 2013 was a great team. But I guess it was. It's been over a decade now since then. That's what dawned on me. 2013, that's over 10 years ago. Yep. I was at that playoff series. It was great. Every seat in the house sold out. Didn't it break it? That's when we didn't get any further, and everybody said, okay, if you're going to do anything, now's the time. This is the team. And within a week or so, didn't they trade McCutchen, or didn't he go to San Francisco? They blew up the whole team. Yes, they did. Yeah, by spring of the next season, it was like half those players were gone. Matthew Modany is my guest. He is a realtor, Caldwell banker, the Michael and Nicole Reed team, 724-312-2888. To get in touch with any real estate questions. Talk about some of your sponsors, because that's cool. When you came in telling me that, I'm pumped. Absolutely. I'm pumped too. So obviously they helped the show become a thing, right? So I wouldn't be here without them, and I want to give them their due. Today's show is sponsored by, first off, Chris Rudolph with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. Chris is a local expert offering many options, including purchase, refinance, and specialty loan programs. I highly recommend Chris. We've worked together for a long time. He provides friendly service, a wide array of loan options, competitive rates, everything that you're looking for when you're looking for a lending expert. And he gives you a strong advantage with his local expertise that you're not going to get from those out-of-town companies. You can reach out to Chris with any mortgage-related questions at 412-480-9159 or check out his website, grarate.com/Chris Rudolph. Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, NLS number ID 912329. Company ID 1598647. licensed by the Pennsylvania Department of Banking and Securities. Coldwell Banker and Guaranteed Rate Affinity LLC share a common ownership. I want to give a shout out to Valiant Pest Defense, who is our other sponsor for the show. Valiant is
Pest Defense.
Pest Defense.
Pest Defense.
Yes, Valiant Pest Defense.
Radio is a good place for pest issues. well played.
You're not going to make some joke about calling them on me, are you?
Nope.
Okay.
Your target demographic has been fulfilled with that. That's a good move.
Yeah, joking aside, if you're looking for preventative services with spring around the corner, or you need an existing pest problem handled, call Valiant Pest Defense at 724-624-8044, or you can visit valiantpest.com for more info. I use them myself. I have for years. They're local, friendly, very reliable service. They offer residential and commercial services, so you can use them for your home or your business. Check out Valiant Pest Defense now and be ready for spring.
Matthew Modany, it's good talk. More of that after news next.
Celebrate this President's Day with a great night's sleep for less. A lot less at AK Nahas. This President's Day, save up to $925 on the new Certa Perfect Sleeper X, iComfort, iComfort Pro, and Beauty Rest Black. Add an adjustable base for $525, any size. Get a dual-sided flip-able queen mattress for just $649, or this firm queen mattress for just $299. All this plus free delivery, setup, and removal. Sleep better for less at AK Nahas Appliance, Furniture, Mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK. Moon Township Ford is celebrating the Pittsburgh International Auto Show in a big way. For a limited time, Moon Township Ford is offering Moon Ford Bonus Cash, $500 auto show retail trade assistance towards the purchase of an eligible vehicle. Check out Moon Township Ford's complete inventory online at moontownshipford.net. It's the perfect time to buy a Ford F-150, Ford Bronco, or a Ford Bronco Sport and get $500 auto show retail trade assistance too. Stop over today and browse their new Ford models and gently used vehicles of all makes and models. Be sure to check out their complete line of inventory. February is the perfect month to buy and get $500 auto show retail trade assistance. Shop their eligible vehicles online now.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
Here we go.
Tune in to WBVP and 99.3 FM, the second Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. for a Rappin' with the Reps. The special forum with your Beaver County State legislators is hosted by Eddie Crow and can also be seen on Facebook Live. You'll also have your chance to phone in and ask questions or give the legislators your opinion. That's Rappin' with the Reps every second Thursday here on Beaver County Radio. Beaver County Radio's news source, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and beavercountyradio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning on this Friday, February 28th of 2025. We will have a complete Beaver County Radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Beaver County Radio news correspondent Sandy Giordano reports that one person is in custody and one person is dead after a shooting that occurred in Ambridge on Thursday night. At around 8:15 p.m., Ambridge police went to the 200 block of Park Road. The identities have not yet been released of both the deceased person and the person in custody. According to Beaver County 911, the Beaver County detectives and Ambridge police are investigating the incident. According to a release from Senator Elder Vogel Jr.'s office, Vogel announced that a state grant of $563,970 was approved to both upgrade safety and fix an intersection in Center Township. The intersection of Beach Road and Route 8 will be getting new equipment for traffic signals thanks to the grant. The funding was provided by PennDOT's Automated Red Light Enforcement Program. A new website called Eyes on Air was launched by the Beaver County Marcellus Awareness Community. This website helps participants to be aware of both trends in pollution and what can be found in the local air. You can also see data on the Eyes on Air website in real time from the AirSense project, which will help to place monitors that track pollutants of air related to health risks here in Beaver County. These monitors will be placed in Brighton, Center, and Raccoon Townships, along with Beaver and Rochester. Connect Beaver County's broadband program is providing necessary infrastructure to give internet with higher speeds to over 2,000 Beaver County locations. The program also provides a Beaver County connectivity tracker, and the uses of it include tracking both how many homes are in construction and the number of miles of cables that have been placed. You can also use the affordability finder from the broadband program to locate providers of internet service to your address until the program is completed. You can visit connectbeavercounty.com for more information. The mandatory conservation order for water in Allegheny, Beaver, and Washington counties has been lifted by the company Pennsylvania American Water. People in Beaver County's Frankfort Springs and Hanover Township needed to limit their water use to around 10 to 15% during the order. According to Pennsylvania American Water, the order was given because an adequate water supply needed to be maintained. The company also stated that the Aldrich water treatment plant also needed to be fixed because of an issue involving electricity. A procession with law enforcement officers is planned for the funeral of a Pennsylvania police officer who was shot and killed while responding to an attack on a hospital intensive care unit. Family members, friends, and fellow officers are expected to attend the service today for West York Patrolman Andrew Duarte at Living Word Community Church in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. The 30-year-old officer was killed while responding to an armed man who took hostages inside UPMC Memorial Hospital in York, Pennsylvania. The attacker, 49-year-old Diogenes Archangel Ortiz, also was killed, and several others were wounded. Legislation to create paid family and medical leave in Pennsylvania is getting bipartisan support. Here's more from Danielle Smith.
House Bill 200 has 58 co-sponsors, including 3 Republicans. It's in the Labor and Industry Committee. The nonprofit Maternity Care Coalition is among those pushing for passage. Sarah Jan Hines with the coalition says the bill would allow families some financial support during childbirth and major illnesses. She adds for new parents and babies, paid leave could cut hospital readmissions in half.
But the bill covers family and medical leave, so it's a really great and expansive benefit. So individuals who have a baby, adopt a baby, who are sick themselves or need to care for a loved one, people experiencing domestic violence. It's a really comprehensive program.
House Bill 200 is an update of past legislative attempts known as the Family Care Act to fund paid leave through employer and employee contributions. 13 states have similar programs. Hines notes many new mothers return to work even before their 6-week checkup due to financial strain, some within 10 days.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Partly sunny and breezy today. We'll see a high near 49. Rain tonight will drop down to a low around 29. Mostly cloudy and breezy tomorrow with scattered snow showers expected through early afternoon. Look for a high near 31 and a low around 15. And mostly sunny on Sunday. We'll see a high near 30 and a low around 17. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Are you ready? It's time to find out what is on the mind of Eddie Crow. It's something to crow about on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. Now, here's the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
25 minutes before, the weekend for me. Matthew Modany's here. Great cruise into the weekend. Matt comes in. We talk about real estate. It's good talk, and you named it that, and that's the perfect name for it. But you being here, and it being payday, and it being Friday, we're living the life of Riley.
Oh, absolutely. But you're getting paid for this?
You believe that?
I can't believe that.
Maybe
next time we'll switch.
Brother, what time? Can you be here Monday at ready to go here? 9:10 is when you got to,
You know what? I think I'll stick with our once a month show together. That might be a little too much for me.
No, it's not. You get into the rhythm. It's like at bats. Here's the problem, though. After a week, see, you've got hair. I had hair. So you gotta pick and decide. Hey, you know what?
I do like my head of hair, so I don't know if I'm willing to risk it for a job.
Don't do it.
Okay.
It's headphone head, and it's emotional headphone head, and it's a bad thing. And don't do it anyway, because the stuff you come in and we talk about is far more positive and uplifting than the normal stuff. We talk about sports, and we talk about sponsorships, and we talk about real estate. We don't talk about politics. And you pay attention? I'm not going to get you into it, but
sure.
How much do you pay attention, and how much do you try to avoid the political kerfuffle that's always going on?
Yeah, that's a nice PG word for a kerfuffle.
Yes.
Fun political times that we're living through. I try to avoid it. My mentor in business, taught me up a long time ago, don't do anything to set off customers. Everybody's money is green.
Yeah.
And although I take a lot of personal pride in what I do, and I really enjoy helping people, I don't want anyone to be turned away from working with me because of, what politician they voted for or I voted for. And that's just not my bag, especially when it comes to my business. So I try to steer clear as much as I can. If I get stuck in a roadblock, I like to think that I'm a pretty good diplomat and, one of those people that can still see the middle of the road.
Should make you a politician, answer a question without answering it.
Yeah, right. Maybe one day. Who knows?
So, all right. Well, talk about your business. Is spring when you got to get everything ready to show a house, or is spring when houses start getting shown?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, my team and I already have a stable of buyers that are out there looking, people pre-approved, ready to go. And
if I'm pre-approved and you show me a house and I say, yep, I want it, how long, what's the closing time and all that? Because I've heard you say if you can get pre-approved, that's going to save a lot of time, a lot of hassle, a lot of uncertainty.
Oh, it's got to be done. It's one of the first things you want to do when you're starting to look for a home.
Mm-hmm.
One of my manager's famous lines with real estate is, it depends. And that's really the truth of it is, how long does it take when you find the right house?
Mm-hmm.
It depends. What type of loan are you using? Is the home occupied? Is it vacant? There's a lot of variables that go into it. But I tell people the average ballpark, you get a place under agreement, you should be able to close in about 45 days. Can be quicker, can take longer, but that's a good ballpark average.
Are the houses listed for higher amounts now than they were a year ago? Where's the price?
It's not terribly different than a year ago. I will tell you the thing that I would tell sellers out there listening, the market needs listings. There is demand.
So it's a seller's market?
It is. There's a lot of opportunities out there for buyers, different loan programs, different things that you can do to help yourself. But our area needs listings. There's a lot of people, and I work all over Western PA. Different areas, different budgets. You could, throw a pin at a map of Beaver County, Allegheny County, and I'm pretty certain that market could use some listings. So that's my note to the sellers out there today. If you're thinking about making a move, now's the time to start planning for that spring, summer market. You want to capitalize when the weather's nice, when the kids are out of school, and, it takes time to get ready, right? There might be some things you want to do at your home. Pre-planning never hurts. So if you've been thinking about making a move for a while, if you're in a situation where you might have a piece of real estate to sell, the market needs you. And there's buyers out there that are ready.
Is there such a thing as a typical Beaver County home for sale?
No, I don't. I really don't think so. The one thing I will say, we have an older area, so for us, older homes are more typical than going up around Allegheny County, areas like Cranberry that have been built up significantly over the last 20 years or so. It's the only thing that I would say is typical for Beaver County versus other nearby counties is age of the homes. And personally, I think you get more bang for your buck out here. A little more breathing room, nice yard, nice driveway.
A lot more breathing room.
Yeah, a lot more breathing room.
Is that what, in part, is causing the population to come out here and to go to Cranberry, to get out from more urban Allegheny County and Pittsburgh City?
Yeah, Pittsburgh City, I mean, I get it. I've spent a lot of time in the city. There's benefits to city life, but you pay for that benefit. And some people just aren't willing to do it anymore. They're not willing to pay the surcharge to live in the city of Pittsburgh. And again, your money goes a lot farther out in the suburbs than what it used to, especially for city people. So that's part of it for sure. I think the ease, the peace and quiet, it all goes into it. And I'll tell you, on top of the need for listing inventory, it looks like rates are starting to come down. It's what we've seen this week. So
you're talking about interest rates on the loan.
Yep. Interest rates for buyers are starting to come down. So I think it's going to be a busy spring, busy summer, and it's smart to prepare yourself ahead of time.
What makes that happen? I was just brutally clueless when it came to economics, Matthew. Why are the interest rates going down?
I'm not going to pretend that I'm much more clued in than you are to the big economic picture, but hey, another good plug for our sponsor, Chris Rudolph at Guaranteed Rate Affinity. You want to know why rates are coming down, you give Chris a call at 412-480-9159, and he'll be able to tell you in a lot more detail than I can, but he's the source of the source, right? He tells me, and the lender tells me rates are coming down, and that's good news for the buyers out there.
All right. We're in the Fry Transportation Group studio. I'm Eddie Crow, and Matthew Modany is in with me, and it's good talk. And which is more difficult, in tough times, to be an optimist in real estate or to be a Pirates fan?
Well,
because you're an upbeat, optimistic guy, I think, in general.
Yeah.
It's got to be difficult sometimes.
Let me tell you, I'm a movie buff. Anybody that knows me. You ever seen A Bronx Tale?
Oh, yeah.
One of my faves.
Nayans Can't Leave.
I bet you know the part that I'm going to reference here. Mickey Mantle never pays your rent. So all I'm going to say is, as much as I love Paul Skeens, Paul Skeens doesn't pay my bills. Real estate does. Yeah. So you want to stay an optimist with your business. The Pirates, I don't have to get as involved with them. They don't pay my bills.
You're involved emotionally, but not financially.
Yes, exactly.
How about we recreate the scene from that same movie? Paul Skeens is one of the bikers in the bar. Mm-hmm. Paul, Nayans Can't Leave.
Nayans Can't Leave.
That's a perfect example of that.
That might be my most useless talent is opportunity comes up to plug in a movie or television quote that fits the situation just right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I could make a living doing that, I could retire from real estate and radio and everything else I do, because that is my most useless talent, is inserting movie quotes at just the right time.
How are you with song lyrics? Because it's the same thing.
Nowhere near as good.
But movies, you can instantly. That is about 2/3 of my job. You get song lyrics in because it paints a picture.
It does, and I like to think the movie quotes do the same thing. But yeah, you handle the song lyrics. I'll stick to TV and movies.
Now, how are you with TV? Is it comedies? Is it cartoons? Is it old Andy Griffiths, or is it everything?
Oh man,
this is really interesting to me because I've been accused and yelled at for the exact same thing. So,
oh man, I'm very well versed. Everything from the X-Files and Friends up to Game of Thrones and Succession. Most of the big hit shows over the last 30 years or so, I like to think I'm pretty well versed in. So it can be a wide array of things: mob movies and classics, Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump. If you name a big movie or show, I could probably pull out a good line from it if the situation is right.
I'm not going to get geek specific. That is not a normal brain pattern. That is an exceptional brain pattern that most people don't have, that you can do that.
Man, I didn't even pay you to say that either.
There you go.
I'll pull another good one out for you. I was actually just talking to someone about this coming in today.
I primed the pump, didn't I? Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Frasier, you remember Frasier, the show, of course?
I'm listening.
Beaver County, I'm listening.
There you go.
Well, I told my friend I was going to come in and do my best Frasier Crane today, but I don't have Roz behind the producer booth. I get you, so we'll make it work.
No, Roz was why. 2 reasons I watched that show. 1, Roz.
Was 2 Daphne?
No, I found Daphne quite off-putting, to be honest. Eddie the dog was good.
Eddie was great.
But you remember Bulldog, the sports guy that would come in with his trolley of noise-making crap?
Yeah, you better have that for us for the end of March. I think that's going to bring the show up another level.
I worked with a guy years ago that had a little wheel, like the projector carts that you had in school. He had one of those. It had all of that stuff all over it. Chimes and all right, so what you're saying is you want sound effect props.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's going to bring our sports talk up another level next month.
So when you say something positive about a negative situation, you get the sound. Would you rather talk about sports or would you rather talk about your job, real estate?
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm slowly talking you into just coming and doing a show.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you guys might talk me into doing this and jumping on a sports show. I think we could fill a couple hours together. But yeah, well, there's one more thing that I want to touch on that I feel is very time appropriate for the real estate world.
Please.
Take advantage of your tax returns. If you're thinking about buying that first investment property, buying your first home, don't take that money and buy a car. Coming from a guy that loves cars and wants to buy a new one, but fights that battle every day to put it off for another day, another week. Take that tax return money, call a good lender, call a good realtor. I know one. So make that money work for you. It's one of the only things that you're going to spend money on that's going to make you money, improve your quality of life. You have the tax benefits every year. I mean, I could rattle on and on the different benefits of home ownership, whether you're going to live in it or have it as an investment property. But yeah, when that refund check comes from Uncle Sam, put it to good use. Don't buy a car. Don't go on vacation. Buy something that's going to make you some money.
Would you ever consider being a landlord?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll tell you what I would do, and this is the advice that I give to anybody looking for an investment property. If you don't want to be a landlord, you don't have to. There's property managers out there. You give them a cut, and they take care of everything. They find your tenant. They collect the rents. They take care of the maintenance. So you sit back and you let your investment property appreciate in value. You get your, subsidy from your monthly rents. Your property manager takes care of everything. It's like having a producer for my radio show.
There you go. Like I'll take care of it, and I'm getting a cut. And
absolutely.
How much money can you make? Don't give me numbers, but give me percentage. I buy a house, and I want to be a landlord, or I want to pay somebody to deal with it. I pop $100,000 for the house. Nice even number. How much would I have to pay somebody to deal with it, and how much can I charge them rent, and how much instantly? I've had great landlords, and I've had miserable you-know-whats. And how does that sort out? Is it worth my time?
It is, and I'm going to pull my manager's favorite line out again. It depends.
It depends.
And with real estate, it depends is my favorite line, too. Depends on where the home is, depends on what size it is, what you can charge for rent, what you can expect to collect. And again, that's part of my job, right? I help people buy investment properties. We figure that all out together depending on what your budget is. But I will tell you, big picture, I don't know many people that go from renting to owning that don't either save money or are so happy with the investment that they're getting more out of home ownership than they ever got with their skyrocketing rent. I mean, it's been 8 years and I haven't had a failed case of renter's remorse when buying a home.
Everybody that said, I'm taking the plunge, has looked back and said, I'm glad I did that.
For some people, you see a significant savings versus rent. For other people, it's just the quality of life improvement, the fact that you have this appreciating asset, the tax benefits every year. I'm full of these quotes, right? My favorite quote is, people that worry about the interest rate. Well, why would I buy a home when it's 7% or 6%? You know what the interest rate is as a renter? 100%. You're paying somebody else's mortgage.
True.
It's all you're paying is interest.
Why is the credit score such a vital thing, considering the credit score didn't exist until, the mid-'80s?
Yeah, I mean, that's another argument in itself. It's, the rules that we have to live by now, and I'm not going to say that it's one that I would have put in place. But I will say, for those that are worried about credit, you would be surprised if you need help how quickly you can rebuild it. Again, a good lender can help with this. A good realtor kind of put you on the right path for what you need to do to get your credit right. And you don't need an 800 credit score to be a home buyer. Some of those old real estate myths that you need 20% down and you need an 800 credit score, that's just not the case. There's so many options available out there today, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or someone who hasn't bought in a long time.
When I watch late night TV, I see these commercials, and this app is going to help me fix my credit score. How are those apps viewed in the financial world? Because you're dealing with the real world.
I can only talk for the real estate world. I don't know,
right.
As far as financial world goes, but I will tell you, I don't see how the apps can be that much more help than the advice that a good local lender can provide you. There's different companies that offer services to help with credit repair. They can put you in touch with those people. So I don't think there's anything that those apps can do that somebody living here in Western PA can't give you the same assistance with.
So the app putting up that big smiley face doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get the Bentley dealership?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, and proceed with caution, trusting everything to Credit Karma, because that app doesn't know you. It doesn't know Western PA like somebody that's here does.
That's exactly right.
Always trust a real person anytime you can.
It's so bizarre that you have to say that, but it's vital information to take in at this point, isn't it?
It is. And
talk
actually,
to a human.
Good opportunity for another plug for today's show sponsor, Valiant Pest Defense. If you're looking for preventative services with spring around the corner, need an existing pest problem handled, call Valiant Pest at 724-624-8044 or visit valiantpest.com for more info. I use them myself for years, residential and commercial service. They're great. They're local, friendly, reliable. Highly recommend checking out Valiant Pest, and you get to deal with a real person.
A real person.
Isn't that amazing?
More and more every day, sadly. You're right.
Oh, man. Nothing turns me off faster than when I call a company and I have to fight through the computer on the phone.
Yeah, and it's at least 5 steps of what language? Number 3. If I have to press 3 or 4 buttons just to get to a human, I don't want to do business with you because you've demonstrated the human element is not important to you.
Absolutely. That's my issue with a lot of these big online companies that aren't based here. They get too big and you lose that human element.
Got about 2 minutes left before we got to go. Matthew Modany here. What did we not get to that we wanted to? Your preparation is legendary around here. When you show up for your show, we've got stacks of prep. What did we not get to that you wanted to get to?
All right, real quick, let me ask you, who's going to be the Steelers' starting quarterback week 1 next year?
You and your 10 biggest friends could not punch me in the face hard enough to make me give a tinker's damn. That's my answer. Matthew, I did that for 15 years. I don't care.
We'll stick to hockey and baseball.
Now, I get real passionate about hockey. Here's what I want from the Steelers. The Steelers, if they do well, the Monday morning commute isn't unpleasant.
Yes.
Okay, them winning or losing, I don't gamble. It has no effect on my life. But if they win, there are fewer hand gestures on the Monday morning commute, so I root for them to win. I have no idea who it's going to be, and I don't think the Steelers do either.
Yeah, I mean, people were practicing American Sign Language. It's not the thumbs up. It's not the pointing. The point, the finger guns. It's the other American Sign Language that you get a lot of. So,
telling me I'm number 1.
Number 1, baby. Yeah.
Why? Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think the starting quarterback for next year's Steelers is a current Steeler?
One of my best friends is a huge Steeler fan, and he says I'm a party pooper when I talk down on him, give him a dose of reality. But I don't think it matters who it is. I think they're going to re-sign Wilson for 1 or 2 years. He'll be a bridge quarterback because this is not a playoff team the way it is. They need a couple years to get right, draft their next young quarterback who's not Kenny Pickett. And
he's got a Super Bowl ring.
I know, right? Before we did.
He's Monix from semi-pro.
That's exactly
He's
who he
Monix.
is.
He got a ring. He didn't do nothing.
I think they'll bring Russ back for a year or two. He's a professional. He'll be a placeholder until they're ready again, and I think that's that.
All right, do me a favor. Don't be a month before you come back again, because I will talk sports with you.
Anytime, Eddie. You bring me in anytime.
They need to stink to get better. And I don't think the egos involved are going to let them stink. I think the egos involved say, hey, we had a non-losing record. Yay, us.
Yeah, the mushy middle. They need to take
Yeah.
a page out of the Penguins book and realize it's okay to be bad for a year or two to get back to being a contender. So that would be my advice. Tell Omar Khan to call up Kyle Dubas and get a few pointers.
Sort it out. All right. You're the best, man. Appreciate it. Matthew Modany with me. And, all right, I'm going to yell about sports, but I'm going to do it off the microphone so I don't get dragged back into that stuff. Hang on a second.